Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So my wife and I are debt-free other than our home, and recently my grandmother passed and left us a small inheritance. It was about, after taxes, roughly $70,000. Her wishes were that she wanted to leave her legacy with it going towards our children's education. Okay. I have a sixth grader and a third grader. We've been funding their college funds since the beginning. My sixth grader has roughly $75,000 in his. My third grader, she has roughly $60,000 in hers.
Wow, good job.
And the question is, though, would we be better off? I mean, I want to honor my grandmother's wishes, but will we be better off paying down our house? That's the last debt we have. That's kind of where we're at in the baby steps, trying to get the house paid off.
Yeah. So did your grandmother, she clearly didn't know that you had college covered when she said this in the will, is the guess, right?
Well, I don't know if I have college covered. I guess that's the secondary question. Like, when is it enough? You know, like, when do you have enough in their college funds? We're continuing to contribute to their college fund every month as part of our budget.
Have you played it out to see what it will be when they reach 18?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was, but just, I mean, on the rough numbers right now, right, if it doubles every 7 years, it's 150 and, you know, probably 150 for each of them, maybe potentially more, I think, but we'll continue to contribute. But so if that's enough, then if we're already in the good, and then again, I know education costs could change. I get all the other.
Well, there's charts out there. There's charts out there where you can play it out and see. So let's put some real meat on this skeleton. So let's pretend, you said you're in Georgia. So let's pretend that they go to a state school, which is what we would recommend here, going to an in-state school, assuming you still live in the state of Georgia. And so now it's like, okay, they're in sixth and third grade, right? It's hard to know who they're going to be coming up. But let's just conservatively say, even if they chose like the most popular state school in Georgia, what does it cost today? And let's use a chart to find out what it would cost in the next 6 years, you know, to find out what this is, or the next 10 years to find out what this is going to be, right? And so that's how you would play that out. And then you go back and look at the account and find out, would there be enough? So that's the game that I would play when I get off this phone.
I have a fun curveball.
What's that?
Hey, sorry for the interruption. This is important. No one likes to think about dying. But one day, your family will have to deal with everything you leave behind. So the question is, will it be easy or a total nightmare? That's where Knockbox comes in. Knockbox is a kit with 15 categories and clear instructions that give your family an organized plan, so they're not sifting through old paperwork and guessing passwords and dealing with lawyers. So leave your family memories instead of a mess. Grab your Knockbox kit today at knockbox.com/Ramsey for the best discount available. That's knockbox.com/Ramsey.
I have a fun curveball.
What's that?
Can I jump? Is it okay?
What if they don't go to college at all?
No.
Oh.
What is the amount total that you're putting away each month for both kids?
We're splitting it $500 a month is what we're doing. $500 a month split between the two of them. Okay. In our budget.
So how many more years for your oldest child would we be contributing? How old again?
He's in sixth grade, so 6 more years for him, and then it'd be 9 more years for my daughter.
Okay, so we're talking. What I would do is I'm trying to back into this, and I'm not a mathematician, but basically you're doing $6,000 a year is what you're putting away for both kids, correct?
Yes.
So you've got how many years left? 6 more years for your son?
Correct.
So that's okay, and then the third grader, what, 9?
9 years. 10 years.
9, but I'm splitting that between the 500 is split between the two of them.
I know. Okay, but here's my point. If it were me, now I'm just throwing a curveball out here.
Hit it.
I do not mind either one of you pushing back on this. I would take the $70,000 because it's really darn close to what you're going to contribute over the difference is not that much as to what they're going to contribute at this current rate, if I'm not mistaken. So I would take the $70,000 from grandma and I would use that. I would go ahead and put that in each one of the kids' funds. And then I would start using the money you've been putting in out of your budget. And I would just start moving down the baby steps from there. That's what I would do. Because I think it's going to come out.
$500 a month extra to the house.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that then you're honoring grandma's request and you're creating it's still cash flow. It's still the same. I mean, it's 6 of one, half dozen another, but you're honoring grandma.
Yeah,
by
it's
taking that
60,000.
But go ahead and put it in now. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and put the 70 in now.
Yeah.
And you're going to get the greater investment return on that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
because
then
it's a chunk.
from day one, let's say you put the 70 in now, then you guys start taking that $500 a month and you start using it towards paying off the house. That's what I would do. And that way I'm honoring grandmother. I'm getting the benefit of that investment by getting that 70 in now and early, as opposed to 6,000, 6,000, 6,000.
Yeah. You're right,
Makes
Ken.
sense? That's what I would do.
I'm not opposed to that.
Sense. It makes sense. My question then is, you're afraid you're going to leave yourself short. Is it enough still? I guess that goes back to the calculator question.
It does, but I would also say I'm channeling Dave right now. If Dave Ramsey, when he'd go, what you have is going to be enough.
Yeah, because you set the budget, my friend, and what you have is the budget.
And the kids go, this is what we have. And so if each of them have 150, I feel pretty confident they're going to be able to get educated. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a good
But
question.
they don't have an unlimited number. They don't go, well, Dad, I want to go to Harvard and it's $80,000 a year. You can go tough cookies.
Or you tell them to figure out where is it coming from.
The hope is if they went to grad school, then there'd be enough, to carry on to a graduate degree afterwards or something. If you could continue to fund it more.
Okay, then again, you can choose to keep doing the 6,000.
Yeah, you
per
can.
year.
And then you're doing both. You're doing what Grandma said, and you're adding extra to it. But it does lead into another question, Jay and Ken, that I think is worth talking about, which is when it comes to school, college, grad school, higher ed, whatever, going to get training. I think the biggest piece of this responsibility is not financial. I think the biggest piece is that communicative part of it, where we're saying, here's the expectation.
Yep.
Here's what mom and dad are going to do, but here's what you do. And we're having that conversation early and we're having it often. So they're not going to wake up one day at 16 or 17 scrambling, trying to figure out or learning, hey, I have a college fund, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about this probably from the time you hit freshman year of, hey, college is coming in 4 years. Your mother and I are saving. We don't know what school you're going to end up with, but just know if there's a deficit, you're going to be on the line for it.
That's right.
And even if there's not, you're applying for scholarships.
Yeah.
I expect, depending, there's going to be some work aspects on your end. And so really clearly setting that guideline, I think is the most important part.
I think
Ken.
so. And so just a quick review here. I'd put the 35 in each kid's account today. 35 here, 35 there.
Yes.
And I'd talk with your SmartVestor Pro, the person you're using, and go, let's play this out. Let's do our best calculator guess or amortize this, whatever you want to call it. And now we can look back and go, okay, based on this new 35 and 35 in each kid's account, what's that going to end up being? And I believe it's going to take one of the kids to 120 and I think the other one 90 something or somewhere in that range. So
I mean, it's $72,000 for the 10-year spread for the 6-year-old and the 9-year-old if they keep putting in what they've been putting in.
Yeah, so you got options. But I would honor Grandma's request. I wouldn't take her money and put it towards the mortgage.
Agree.
I'd feel gross about that.
I agree. Especially, it would be one thing if you already fully had education covered, but with what you've said you want to pay, you don't have it covered. So I would put it towards. I agree with Ken.
Let's get that mass sum in there right now. Let that start building.
I know, that's right. And yeah, you're right, Ken. Yes.
Wow, somebody write it down. Ken is right. I need to call my wife and daughter immediately and tell them. Hang on, I'll be wrong later.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.